have an opinion. Oh, we're like, okay, now we'll listen to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, different days, different moods. So
Yeah.
today was very.
And I feel like whenever me and Utkarsh, like we find ourselves like in the car together a lot, like driving back late night, like going somewhere, and it's always like we always kind of make sure to acknowledge what's being played.
I mean,
like
I think that's everywhere now.
Yeah, like
Whether it's in a car or a restaurant or whatever, I think music is important.
Yeah.
It affects me. So yeah.
But like he always like has just like whenever I sit with him in his car and his playlist is going, I always leave with like 5 new tunes and I'm like, fuck, I'm playing this in my next set, like for sure.
Shameless Shazam.
I'm shameless, bro.
You play stuff like that in your sets. You don't play no Madlib and like.
No. I mean, okay, so
It's not really club friendly
Exactly.
per se. But yeah, depends on if it's an event like a daytime event. Maybe you could
Sure.
get away with
Yeah.
it, but
Radio shows.
yeah, but it's more personal listening. I
Correct.
think there is definitely certain genres that are personal listening, and
100%.
I don't feel like playing them.
that's so true. But like, I mean, but there are certain spaces where, I mean, recently, like Stranger and stuff, like those kind of shows, I find like a lot more freedom. I'm like, okay, because it's more of a sit down, more of like a cozy, sexy vibe. Like, okay, I'm going to start with things that I would usually reserve for personal listening,
Yeah.
but just see how it might sound and like just kind of. And I love like playing that kind of stuff and just like seeing even like diners, people who are like seated, people on dates, like this like kind of like cute vibe. Like just like slowly kind of like gradually kind of just like this energy being built up.
Yeah.
Like playing like old like Fela Kuti or like playing old hip hop or like playing like Quasimoto, like stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, and now it's weird because like whenever I listen to music, I'm always as a filter of the DJ.
Okay.
Like can I fit this into
Yeah,
my
I'm
set
actually
somehow?
trying to retract away from that a little
Yeah,
bit. That
that's
it
cool.
doesn't
I
always
didn't get the
need to.
point.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to be a banger. Like everything
no,
doesn't
sure.
need to go from a filter of will I play this in my set or not. I think this was
Yeah.
taking me away from a lot of music that I used
Oh, so
to.
you listen to music like that?
Yeah, now I'm
So
listening to a lot of. I'm going
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to a lot of music like live instrumentation, jazz, rock,
100%.
and stuff like which I think was very like important listening for me. But because of events and DJing and just doing this professionally, kind of just like through that lens, I'm like, will I play this in a set or not? So I was moving away from that.
Sure,
and just
yeah.
finding more bangers, edits, UKG
You
flips.
haven't been doing that.
I'm still obviously doing that.
Right.
Like there is a SoundCloud stream going on. There's like all of that, like finding Shazamming reels to find the next new
Right.
hot
Yeah.
tracks. That's going on, but I'm keeping enough space for like just quality listening.
Oh,
I mean, there was a time where we used to just listen to music.
And that's why
it
you
wasn't
got
like
into
a
it
background
first.
act.
You
Yeah.
said you enjoyed music and
Yeah.
listening to it
Yeah.
and like all types of it. And
See, but the listening and enjoying it and actually like the deep act of like listening to music, which is a very like sacred personal thing, is still there. But like I still now even like listen to music and I'm thinking about like, oh, would I be able to contextualize this for an audience? Like my DJ mind never turns off. Like for example, I was in the car driving to work the other day and I was listening to like Men I Trust and like those kind of like those like softer indie rock kind of bands that are like incredible bands.
Yeah.
And I was listening to them and I was like, okay, the next time I get a show like a Stranger again, or like I know ki acha theek hai yahan pe matlab I have like 2 hours of just like kind of easy sundowner or just like a bar kind of, I can try and play, some Mazzy Star. I can play some Portishead. I can play some Men I Trust. I can play some.
if not the original track, you can always find some nice edit of the track.
I
Edits and all is fine.
Edits
It's
is
also
fine.
about
I'm a
visualizing
bit
a
anti-edit.
setting, like
Yeah.
trying,
Yeah.
like as a DJ wanting to play a setting where
Right.
that fits in as an original track.
Correct.
Like,
Exactly,
Yeah.
precisely that. Like I for some reason, maybe it's just me, but maybe it's you as well, maybe all DJs, like whenever I listen to a track that I'm really into, I always visualize myself playing it for an audience. I'm like, okay, where could this work? I'm just like, okay, cool, this is like this soft kind of just like indie-esque kind of vibe, but I'm like, okay, cool, fuck, maybe as a closer, maybe as an opener, maybe like as this unexpected.
would you play death metal?
That's one thing, because I mean, for people who might not know, that's like I'm a metalhead. Like I've grown up as a metalhead.
I've been a metalhead. Like I
I've-
use, yeah,
I've
big